The rest, if I should tell, for the fear, my friend, for my closest friend would deem the facts untrue. For the therefore, it was the why they left untold. To yet, if you will, for the why here to the end. For the crocodile was the girl with the massive gold polished stones, but there's a where's groove, and there is one no wax beyond the rest. For the more killing, for the girdle, for the kingly crown, for the wild crowns and orbs and scepters is there at the breast, and this would be the gleam, the compact for the green, for the skeleton skill, for the special, the burnishment adorned for the male, for the only the special terror weight upon the frown. Honey and brethren, and their brethren, the quake for the forward tail, for the broad, for the rafter, potent, potent as a flare, for the he grew. Lord and master for the kin, for the we shall tell the tale of their woes. And inexorable appetite arose, and abiding upon them, for the crunching and sucked them in, for the he knew no law, he feared no binding in law, for the ground, for the was within the vigil, for the lush. She's fat, distilled upon the chin, for the exuded, for the nostrils of the eyes, and I still like hungry with the fed of the more. To every mind a crocodile today, for the buried the two, for the who and the gorge the fool, slept with the breath. Opposed to that for the unstrung straw, for the passing and strange, for which and nothing that I swept, for the doing it, for the common sign, for the empire defeated for the coat. Then from the far, for the wing, for the vessel came the swift was the swallow. Subtle was the flame, and then I know with the roar, for the rape, for the freighter lost, the host, and this is the whitest, and the avenging goes to the level for the strong. On its course, supreme yet weightless in the item mode. It seemed to tame to the waters without the force, with nothing, murmur for the sweller, for the beat. And purple shadow for the swift, for the lands and sweet. Product of your prudent, for the crocodile rose and the feet, for the shed of your appropriate tears, and the wrung of the hands, and this is the way that you can mean for the answering, and not for what you mean, for the must be the echo for the what. I can tell this all on the spot. I can find that for the progress in the other. And I ain't watched the rose, but very long and enough to brought by the dew, for the sun and shower, for the waiting to see the perfect flower. But then I thought it should be strong enough to open the mat an hour, and I felt as even sun. I wash the nest for the day-to-day, for the green nest, and full of pleasant shade, and where they expect the eggs were laid. When they should have hatched and made, the two little birds have gone afraid, or tired and flew away within the raft, and I broke through. Then I attended so with care, and hoping with the scent, and should fill the air for the crushing of the eggs, and nothing you need below, for the ancient promise of the been fair enough for the avengers now. And dead that for the branch spoke to the suck. And Angela answered me for the feeling of what you does, and I complain for the wrath you see, just what I rest if I should tell for the fear my rest if I the rest if I should tell for the fear my friend for my closest friend. The rest if I should tell for the fear my friend for my closest friend would deem the facts untrue, for therefore it was the why they left untrue. The rest if I should tell for the fear my friend for my closest friend would deem the facts untrue. The rest if I should tell for the fear my friend. The rest if I should tell for the fear my friend for my closest friend would deem the facts untrue, for the therefore it was the why they left untold. And yet if you will, for the why here to the end, for the crocodile was the girl with the massive gold polished stones, but there's where's groove, and there is one no wax beyond the rest. For the more killing, for the girdle, for the kingly crown, for the wild crowns and orbs, and scepters is there at the breast, and this would be the gleam, the compact for the green, for the skeleton skill, for the special, the burnishment adorned for the male, for the only the special terror weight upon the frown. Honey and brethren, and their brethren, the quake for the forward tail, for the broad, for the rafter, potent, potent as a flare, for the he grew. Lord and master for the kin, for we shall tell the tale of their woes. Next, appetite arose, and abiding upon them, for the crunching and sucked them in, for the he knew no law, he feared no binding in law, for the ground, for the was within the vigil, for the lush. She's fat, distilled upon the chin, for the exuded, for the nostrils of the eyes, and I still like hungry with the fed of the more. To every mind a crocodile today, for the buried the two, for the who and the gorge the fool, slept with the breath. Opposed to that for the unstrung straw, for the passing and strange, for which and nothing that I swept, for the doing it, for the common sign, for the empire defeated for the coat. Then from the far, for the wing, for the vessel came the swift was the swallow. Subtle was the flame, and then I know with the roar, for the rape, for the freighter lost, the host, and this is the whitest, and the avenging ghost in the level for the strong. On its course, supreme yet weightless in the idle mode. It seemed to tame to the waters without the force, with nothing murmur for the sweller, for the beat. And purple shadow for the swift, the lands and sweet. And product of your prudent, for the crocodile rose on the feet, for the shed of your appropriate tears, and the wrung of the hands, and this is the way you can mean for the answering, and not for the what you mean, for the must be the echo for the what. I can tell this all on the spot. I can find that for the progress in the other. And I ain't watched the rose, but very long and enough to brought by the dew, for the sun and shower, for the waiting to see the perfect flower. But then I thought it should be strong enough to open the mat an hour, and I felt as even song. I watched the nest for the day-to-day, for the green nest, and full of pleasant shade, and where they expected the eggs were laid. But when they should have hatched and made, the two old birds have gone, afraid or tired or flew away within the raft, and I broke the boat. Then I attended so with care, and hoping with the scent, and she'll feel the air for the crushing of the edge, and not the hitting of the low, for the ancient, the promise that had been fit enough for the avengers now. But dead that, for the branch spoke with the sucker. Answer me for the feeling of what you does, and I complain for the righteous, or just what of God, for the just with the fruits in vain, for just to be the taking of the rock, for this to be the progress. It'll be a better resurrection. I have that for mine eyes, and have no reason, no everlasting hills I will see. And I said into this wanting creature inside me, what is the river? And I said into this wanting creature inside me, what is the river you want to cross? There are no travelers on the river road and no road. And do you see anyone moving about that bank for the nesting? And there's no river at all, there's no boat for the no boatman. There's no tow rope either, and no one to pull it, for there's no ground, no sky, no time, no bank, no fork. And there's no body but no mind. And do you believe there's some place that will make the soul less thirsty? Is that great absence, you will find nothing can be strong then, and enter your own body, for then you have a solid place to for your feet. And just to think about it carefully, not to go somewhere else. Just throw away all the thoughts and imagine everything and stand firm in what you are. Within the earth vessel, the bowers of the groves, and with its creator within the vessel for the seven oceans, and you can have the unnumbered stars, and this touchstone for the jewel of praises are within the vessel for the eternal and sound, and this the spring wells up. My beloved Lord is within. I have no wit, no words, no tears. My heart within me like a stone. I numb too much for the hopes of the fears, that I look right and live life for the dwell alone, for the lifting and lifting of my eyes, and not the damp of the grief, and the no everlasting hills I see, for the my life is lasting, falling leaf, and yo, Jesus quicken me, for the my life is like a faded for the leaf, for the there's a harvest for the twilling, for the dusting, and hush. Truth, my life is a void for the brief, for the titties, and the only bearing the dust, and my life is the frozen thing, and I'm budding, and no greenness, and can I see for the yeah that should rise in the sap of spring. Jesus rise in me, my life is like a broken bowl that cannot hold the one drop of water for my soul through the cordial with a searching of cold. Cast to the fire for the perishing the thing, but the melt for the remolding it, of an only roll cut for him. My King Jesus drink of me. I remember I need you, a dream but not to remember me when I am gone away, for the gone far away into the silent land, for now you can hold my hand, and listen, nor I have to turn to go, for the yet turning and learning. Remember the only one more day by day for the telling of the future with you plan. Only remember you understand it will be too late to counsel them or pray. Yet it shall only forget for the me for a while, for the afterwards to remember not to grieve, for the darkness of corruption to leave in the vest. The thoughts of the ones I had, better for the bar farther, you should forget and smile for the night, you should remember to be sad. Progress to the poem for the echo. Come to me in the silence of the night, for the coming to speak into the silence of the dream, to come up to the sound of the round cheeks of the eyes, bright enough for the sunlight on the stream. Come back in the tears and the memory I hope for the love of the finish of years, and how sweet to the sweet for the bittersweet for the who's awakening and who should have been in paradise, and where souls brim full of love that abided in me, for that they're thirsting and longing eyes, and watch the slow door for the opening to let in and let out no more. Yet to me in dreams that I may live in the very life again, for the code and death of the make back to me in the dreams, and I will give the pulse for the pulse and the breath, and speak low for the lean low, and as long as ago my love, and how long ago. Here now, curious stream and dream last night, for each word weighed, sifted, and true. I stood And I said into this wanting creature, and I said into this wanting creature inside me, what is the river you want to cross? There are no travelers on the river road and no roading. Do you see anyone moving about that bank for the nesting? And there is no river at all, there no boat for the no boatman. There is no tow rope either, and no one to pull it, for there's no ground, no sky, no time, no bank, no fort. There's no body but no mind, and do you believe there's some place that will make the soul less thirsty? It's that great absence you will find nothing can be strong then, and enter your own body, for then you have a solid place for your feet, and this is think about it carefully, not to go somewhere else. Just throw away all the thoughts and imagine everything and stand firm in what you are. Within the earth vessel, the bowers, the groves, and with its creator within the vessel for the seven oceans, and you can have the unnumbered stars, and just a touchstone for the jewel of praises are within the vessel for the eternal, and the sound of this the spring wells up. My beloved Lord is within. I have no wit, no words, no tears. My heart within me like a stone. I numb too much for the hopes and the fears that look right and look like for the dwell alone, for the lifting and lifting of my eyes and not the dent and the grief, and the no everlasting hills I see, for my life is lasting, falling and leaving. Yo, Jesus quicken me, for my life is like faded for the deep, for the desert harvest, for the twilling, for the dusting and the hush. Truth, my life is the void for the brief, for the tedious and the only bearing the dust, and my life is the frozen thing, and I'm bothering blood and no greenness, and can I see for the yeah that should rise in the south of spring. Jesus rise in me, my life is like a broken bowl that cannot hold the one drop of water from my soul for the cordial with the searching and cold. Cast to the fire for the perishing of him, for the melt for the remoting it, for only every road cut for him. My King Jesus drinking me. I remember you, I need you. A dream but not to remember me when I am gone away, for gone far away into the silent land. But now you can hold nor hold my hand, this nor I have to turn to go for the yet learning and learning. Just remember the only one more day by day for the telling of the future you plan. Only remember you understand it will be too late to counsel, then we'll pray. Yet it should only forget for the me for a while, for the afterwards, and remember not to grieve, for the darkness and corruption to leave for the best. Thoughts of the one time I had, better for the bar farmer, you should forget and smile for the night, you should remember to be sad. Progress to the poem for the echo. Come to me in the silence of the night, for the coming to speaking in the silence of the dream, and come up to the sound of the round cheeks of the eyes, bright enough for the sunlight on the stream. Come back in the tears and the memory, I hope for the love of the finish of years, and how sweet to the sweet, for the bittersweet, for the who's awakening and who should have been in paradise. Where souls bring full of love of the body, they meet for their thirsting and longing eyes, and watch the slow door for the opening and let in and let out no more. Yet, to me, in dreams, that I may live in the very life again, for the cold and death of the make back to me in the dreams, and I will be at the post for the pulse, for the breath, and the speak low, for the lean low, and as long as ago, my love, and how long ago? Here now, curious dream, a dream last night, for each word weighed, sifted, and true. I stood behind, while it swelled like overflowing Jordan in its youth, and wax colors insensibly in sight.
Lord, I come. Lord, I come. You are. The boldly outward from the wall we went. Down sloping to the sudden steep descent. Before us yawned in the sides extending far for the broken rocks. A great pit circularly enclosed and not beneath our feet for the fallow throne. We left upset for the stenches so vile for that we might not face, but led our course a while to the crouch behind a stone-built monument. It's here the souls of faith. To the federator for the graduate of us take must not do for the continued downward what you show me, while we stay for the meaningful and dreadful way. I meant it surely for the same, my God. Behold the space beneath us. There are 3 circles lie like these left behind for those who are deeper for the faith is theirs, and I will first show for them when we pass in the depths below, yet need not wait to the question of what we see. In the malice of men's heart for the injury results of the hints of the heaven for the audience. And grieve it not for the striking 2 ways, but either for the force of the fraud, for the menace of the vice. For the center of the utmost star, for the else unknown, for there's a God therefore for the most. Outward and inmost, and the only men who only have the sinful battle and make their war for the God, for there's a neighbor for the upon themselves, and so they are appointed for the hours, and I say to them, I can find their own for the wrong may I aim. The violence and wounds of death may they be extortions. The burnings and waste after the shall be the equal for the amounts. Rain belong for the reapers. Like that, for the ponder, but you can find a second round for those whose sin is violence to themselves, and this week the ram for the repenting for the when it's too late. Whose hands are dues to destroy for the earthly bodies of the condemned alike those of the pro. Who live the gate for the one who waits for hands to strike at their own will. Having the cause for joy for the rejecting it. Weeping with no end, the third for the smallest in the outer circles. Behold that. Violence for the blasphemous words of their hearts and the Lord, the life, denied the not the wealth, for the nature for the world, infos of the contending, and you can find the lust of the unsure. The downward path may be the ends of this instruction for the fraud that knows, and the universal consciousness of the mankind is also different than the guilt. Because it's either as stranger strikes behind for the making the sacred bond of confidence, and the means that's prevailing for the first breaks it out the kindly general bond of the hands of your for outward. Final deaths of cats and sea. Sheets you find a thief and ponders, and that's such filth for the last of the words. In the smaller circle of the whole such as souls break. Not only their guilt for the natural bond that all men own, but in some trust beyond the unusual course of faithfulness in the lake. The base and the upper, the innermost hell. Traitors in the relentless of the torments and dwell. I answer for the master to clear the words of these, and I cannot rank that guilt to show for the gather for the dreadful guilt. But tell me these are not so great disease in the earlier past, wind beaten choked with slime. If God's wrath reached them, what they yet remain outside the hot walls of the place of pain, or why they suffer throughout the night at times so greatly if you are not the judge. Answer you can recall not well for the ethics of your school of thought, or why your thoughts are the wonder from their won't cause. A doubt so simple enough for that you could be the laws and the thieves and ways of the heaven to divide it for the best of the treats and for the malice and the incontents, for that you can find a third for the least of defense and that to be provocative. Receive less blame for not to be thankful false for that. To the first you came for the thirst of the circle, but to be the heated for the would not surround us, and we shall find by strokes of justice fall upon those in hours divine. O light, and these be the cheering ways of the sun. Will and the minister that way for the blinding in me, and the further for the tell the why can stand. The custom told of usury, the condemned act for the discourse of direct sin, and you for the high pioneer of God. The teaching of your own philosophy is spreading with the truth unborn, for there you can find that God within himself, and interpret it for the nature of the ways and child may tread. And surely than the master steps of thine art, interpret it to nature in this turn. God's grandchild, therefore, for the those that be the mysteries look backwards when the law for the Eden came. Spoke upon the eternal wisdom. Is set it for the labor to find that for the bread, for to be the fruitful in case that be creatures to be kind. It's part of the God for the gay, the man saying the unsure seeks not the profit for the path he designed, but looks to the fruit for the others to the toil to find for the plucking where you do but planted. More to say for the time permits not. The diamond way for the we must need to venture for the outer skies of the fishers for the pale who arise and arise, and this would be the grave for the shining course descended with the night air the darker stands. Now we came to that steep cliff aside for this where the age mounted board still for the usual ruin. Turn that swift for the steam floor for further for the course of the field for the beneath that scare from the precipitous side, for this would be the shadow for the ominous. Descending for the sheer for the sprawled growth to that verge in the herb where fearsome the boldest in the heart you should flee. To us you turn for the red and malignant eye, for this to be the gawning and the side for the why you strove to rise upon the rageful the passive restraint. Loud enough for the leader to hell. Over proud, and this would be the coming for the gate you gave divine, and that for the one that taught us here for the destined for the victim of the rage to the goal for the only original the place to fear for the safety behind. Behold those strips of you.